How is everyone doing today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about the Anomaly role. And I'm not going to lie, it's been some time since we've talked about the overall meta with each character side by side. And for the most part, we've just seen a lot of new Anomaly characters come out with not only Yanagi, but also Bernice and having Jane and also having Seth. We've had Grace in the past as well. There's just been a lot of Anomaly coming out. And not only that, we also have someone like Miyabi coming very soon, who's also going to be Anomaly as well. So there's just a lot to look at when it comes to the overall flood of Anomaly characters coming into the game, which in all honesty, it is a little concerning, and not concerning to the point where we're talking about, oh, the game is ruined, you can't really have fun in the game anymore, anything like that. No, not in any way, shape, or form. And I am going to be grinding for my Yanagi's talents in the background live, so that we can just do that. I think I want to try this style of video, which would be kind of cool to just talk about the game and then also have the game in the background as well. But looking at what we have right now with these characters in the game, we are seeing a flood of Anomaly characters and a very much lack of regular attack characters, which is very interesting for the most part, especially looking at how we have a lot to compete with when it comes to the Anomaly class versus the attack class. Because if you look at it, the attack class has a lot to live up to, especially when you look at characters like Bernice and like Yanagi, where they're able to do massive damage outright with their disorders, with being able to get into basically the max amount of damage they possibly ever need just by doing their damage. They don't have to wait for a stunner like Ellen does for the most part. They don't have to wait for them to have an opportune window to do their DPS like someone like Zhu Yuan. They just get to do their damage and play their game for as long as they want and just get to spam whatever they want to spam. As you can see, Yanagi is absolutely a monster. There's a reason I'm leveling her up to max, because not only do I love her playstyle, she is by far one of the coolest characters in the game, holy crap. But looking at the attack class right now, what do they need to be able to compete with these guys? Because these guys are the masters of everything at the current moment. They're the masters of disorder, they're the masters of Anomaly buildup. They get to do a lot of damage without needing the stun damage window, and even when they do get the stun damage window, they're going to be hitting for absolute nukes while they're doing so. So it's really like a bonus to them rather than a concrete need like most of these attack characters kind of want. So what can they have? I do think they need to rework the attack class a little bit. Instead of them doing main DPS abilities, we might need to venture into the realm of what can they do off field, because looking at, of course, someone like Bernice, we kind of have someone that has god tier off field potential at the current moment that is gonna be used on every effing Anomaly team in the far future. And this is something that is not gonna be in any way, shape, or form a surprise to anyone. I think it's going to be really hard for attacks to compete if we continue down the same path. And god dang, that damage is insane. I do think they need to implement some type of assist system in the game that is not in the same realm as Bernice, really. Not in the same realm, but in the same realm as Bernice. When you're able to basically call them in whenever, they get to do maybe a skill or something, and then after that, they leave the field and they call it a day. I think that would be a really smart move for the attack class, but they do need something, without a doubt. They need something in the game at the current moment to hold them down as a, ooh, like, bro, the pose, bro. Holy. They do need something to compete right now, because right now, there's just so much support for Anomaly. We have Miyabi coming out 100%. It's going to be one of the MVP Anomaly characters for sure, especially with how hype her release is going to be. And then looking at attack, they haven't gotten a character since Zhu Yin. Oh, actually, we're getting one with harumasa. So I think we will get to see what they're planning for attack to be with Harumasa's release, because they got to step it up, especially with Harumasa coming right before Miyabi. Yeah, they have quite a bit to worry about when it comes to what he's able to do versus what someone like Miyabi's able to do, because looking at it, she just has the whole recent cast of characters in her discretion when it comes to the list of characters that are going to work with Miyabi for the most part. So yes, there's quite a bit that we have to wait for and look towards when looking at what is Harumasa specifically going to do and what is his purpose in the game at the current moment. There's just a lot going on. So let me know what you think realistically. about the attack situation, anomaly situation. I can say this right now, out rip, is that I do enjoy this anomaly meta we have right now. It's really fun. I think the anomaly system is by far one of the funner playstyles in the game. It just showcases off a lot of uniqueness to the combat, not only with how cool these characters are for the most part, but playing around with Bernice, playing around with Yanagi, I can't lie, it's probably some of the funnest combat I've had in this game since its release for the most part. Like someone like Yanagi, right up my alley. I love these stance cancels. I love everything about her. She's just super cool as a character and does so much damage. Holy crap. I gotta level her up to max, dude. She's just so cool for the most part. But there's just a lot going on right now. I do want to take on the Endless Tower eventually, very soon, I guess, for the most part, to see how far I can get with Yanagi, because I do think she's just by far one of the best characters in the game. Or she's just one of the better characters in the game that is coupled up with all the other characters that are currently out, like Bernice, of course, and of course Seth as well, because Seth is a really great character too. So we just have, oh wow, the old number one. I think for the most part, a lot of people do still think that Julian is number one, because of course, just straight numbers, seeing how much damage she can do. I do think realistically that Yanagi is just there when it comes to number one for me. I don't know, she's just very, very strong. Like, she just does a lot outright. Like, you just get to spam disorders, which is something that is technically game breaking in the game, just because there's usually a disorder timer or a reaction timer, and Yanagi kind of just not listens to it for the most part. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that Yanagi is able to do that most other characters can't do. And we are going to get that electric damage bonus, which is going to be really nice. And let's go ahead and start with our usual rotation. Oh, I was trying to parry that way we could have got a little bit of extra days, but that's cool. Yeah, having stance cancels are really cool in the character's kit. This is the type of combat I was wanting from Zenless, and the fact that we got it, perfect. Holy crap, man. That is so cool. And being able to not follow that disorder rule opens up so much damage for you. It's not even funny. And let's go ahead and shred off that shield. Boom. There you go. That's perfect. And we still have a bunch of energy left over, so this is really nice. I do want to go ahead and try and get the Bernice shield on. Not the Bernice, the Caesar shield on, while trying to get the After Spark, whatever it's called, on Bernice. Okay, let's go ahead and try and get Caesar's shield out. There we go. We got it automatically, but I kind of want to parry off of it. That way we can get a bunch of days off. There you go. And now we can go into Yanagi and start going crazy on the damage. I want to see how fast we can burst them down for the most part. That's one hit. Boom. Oh my god. Dude, she's busted. I don't know how anyone could not say that Yanagi is just not one of the most broken characters in the game. Being able to shred this quick, that's why I think Yanagi's number one, because she doesn't have a window where she's like grinding for certain things, you know? I think someone like Zhu Yin, although has very high damage, don't get me wrong, she is deleting enemies. I do think Yanagi doesn't have to wait for bullets the same way that our Zhu Yin does. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something with Zhu Yin, but I promise you I don't get as much spam as I'm able to do with Yanagi with Zhu Yin. I don't know, maybe is it a skill issue? Possibly, it could be. But I do think Yanagi's just outright broken. She's one of the better characters in the game, 1000%. Being able to just do so much damage for no freaking reason, of course, especially in conjunction with Bernice. Yeah, this character is just something else. And she's like generating energy so freaking fast too, dude. Look how much health that was. He's not even in stun. We haven't stunned him once. Like, this is why Anomaly is so strong. I didn't stun him once this whole time. We never got a chain attack off with this team, and they were able to just one-shot, and that's not something you can do with a lot of these other characters in the game right now. You can't one-shot them before the stun gauge, and that's a pretty big thing. That means you don't have to waste as much time trying to stunning, not doing damage. And now this can change. We still do have Lighter coming out very soon, which is something I'm very excited for to try out. So Lighter's still a thing. we have to wait for. He might change the way stunners are in the game, which might make attack characters and their teams a little bit more viable, because if the stun characters can do more damage, then that means someone like Ellen, someone like Zhu Yin is able to do something crazy too. So yeah, we have quite a bit to look forward to. I do think the meta is shaping up to be a little bit different than what we expected for quite some time. So I am very excited overall just to see the direction this game is going, because of course they are taking care of this game. They're definitely doing what I expected for them to do with all the changes that they've added so far, and it's just really nice to see. I'm very glad to see a lot of the changes that we've been getting with the endless tower, with a lot of end game modes, a lot of passive stuff they've been giving us, a lot of combat oriented modes as well, something a lot of people have been asking for quite some time. So we're looking in a really good spot for this game, and I genuinely think as time progresses, we're gonna start seeing even more stuff. So I am very excited for all of that stuff included. Let's go ahead and get this after spark on real quick, go and use that skill, and then we can go into Yanagi and just go crazy. And I'm gonna just use the ult, that way we can get a bunch of damage off early. I love this whole animation so much. All these disorders, dude, holy crap. And then this makes it even harder for him because he is a robot. So look at that. Ooh. Yeah, man, you can't tell me. There's no way anyone can tell me that Yanagi isn't broken, dude. I didn't stun him once. That is something. I just think that is insanity that she's able to do that. I don't know. Y'all gonna have to let me know in the comments what y'all think about Yanagi versus Zhu Yin, because I do think that's a pretty cool topic. I just don't see Zhu Yin kind of going against her. Like, not having a window of DPS and you're like always in that window is a pretty big thing in my book. Right now, I am trying my best to get back into Yanagi just so that I can actually start doing my disorder damage. There you go. Woo! And then we're gonna go straight back into the ultimate. We love to see it. And we're about to get into the stun window for like the first time in forever. We stopped him mid-hit, which is perfect. Does he even have after spark on still? He does not. So I do need to get eventually back into Bernice, but looks like we're gonna go back into it anyway. We're gonna start with Caesar. This should be done game though. After spark with the Bernice, and then woo! Dude, that is so cool. That is so cool. Yeah, Anomaly's just busted for the most part. We need to see what they're gonna do with attack. We gotta see what they're planning for it for the most part, and I want to get this last boss in, and then we can finish it up for this video. But they do need to have a bunch of synergistic properties and also buff up the other roles like stunner and also like supports, because we haven't gotten a new support in a long time. I think the last support we got, we had never gotten a 5-star support, now that I think about it. So yeah, there's a lot to be wanted for currently in the game. We haven't got a 5-star support, not that I remember. I might be forgetting somebody. It feels like I am for the most part. But we haven't gotten a 5-star support, so that is something that is pretty important as well. And that is a scary slope as well, just because you have the potential to accidentally buff up Anomaly, which would put you back in the same place we've been in for the most part. So that is something you do want to make sure we're not going to be put back in. But basically, buffing up stunners, giving them a little bit more synergistic properties, and also helping up attackers as well is going to be quite a challenge for them to be able to match up with the current Anomaly units and the current Anomaly teams that are out right now. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what they do with those. I'm definitely gonna keep a big lookout for Lighter, because I do think Lighter is going to be, for the most part, from what I would assume, a pretty big look into what they're planning to do with the regular attack teams, just because, like I said, Anomaly is crazy right now. Let's go ahead and do all this damage. I love Yanagi. One of the best characters in the game right now. One of the funnest characters in the game. Like, look at all this damage we got here. That whole health bar is gone. Nah, dude. This is insane. Nah, dude. That's insane. I've never had faster boss fights than with Yanagi here. I don't know. I might be Omega glazing the heck out of her, but org, dude. She is just insane. Let's go ahead and add on the spark onto him. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and start doing damage to Yanagi. Ult into all of the rest of her combos, and we should be pretty much good. Thankfully, he didn't get all the way thrown into the bag. That way I could have still done damage. But let me know what y'all think about Yanagi. Let me know if you're having fun with her as well. And other than that, let me know who you want to pull in the comments as well. Because as we all know, pretty sure I know who everyone is waiting for. As everybody's been waiting for them for quite some time. Which is, of course, Miyabi. She's just been a fan favorite forever. And we haven't seen her in quite some time. Since CBT 1. So she has been MIA for quite some time. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this video. This boss is done, and man, do I love Yanagi. We're gonna be basically getting her up to the max. I've never maxed out a character in this game since it's come out, which is kind of crazy to me that I haven't had the chance to do this. But Yanagi's such a cool character and a character I really love that, hey, I might as well max her out because I'm pretty sure she's gonna be good with Miyabi. So this is gonna be really cool to see. But that is one. We got one more to go for the F to get a little bit more damage in. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I went to the video. See y'all guys in the next one, and peace.